Welcome to Mbuya Parent School and Kindergarten, situated in Kampala City with modern, well-equipped facilities plus extensive playing fields and amenities. Mbuya Parent School believes that a better future lies where children know how to find and create balances in themselves and the world around them. This explains our fusion of academic subjects and co-curricular activities. There are many opportunities presented to them to flourish both in and outside the classroom.
I want to become a president when I grow up.
I want to be a pilot.
I will be the best fashion designer.
Mbuya Parent School, the sky is our limit.
Primary 5 learners, I greet you with a warm love. In this lockdown holiday, I encourage you to follow all the guidelines as given to us by the Ministry of Health in order to stay safe and alive. I am Teacher Marvelous Nwavasa, teacher of English, and I'm going to take you through our lesson 1. It is a continuation of where we stopped. We already covered topic 1 of term 1, vehicle maintenance and repair, under which we looked at equipment used in repair, and we also looked at parts of a vehicle. Our topic 2 is print media. And for purposes of introduction of this topic, we shall look at vocabulary associated with print media. At the end of the lesson, I expect you to have mastered the pronunciation of the words that we are going to look at. I expect you to be able to spell and write those words. I also expect you to be able to tell the meaning of those words, to use them in sentence formation, and you should know the different forms of these words that we are going to look at. As you can see, the topic print media, it has 2 words. It is made up of 2 words. Our first word being print and the second word being media. And I would like someone there to tell us the meaning of the word print. This is a word we use every day in the classroom. Yes, thank you. Someone has said that to print means to write clearly without letters of a word touching one another. The letters stand independent, and I'll give an illustration. Good. When you look at these 2 words, this is the word Tuesday, and this is also the word Tuesday. But the first word has been written in print style. The letters are independent, they are standing alone. Whereas in the word Tuesday, the second one, you can see that the letters are joined to one another. They are touching one another, and this is what we call cursive style of writing. But for purposes of our topic, we are going to look at print in another meaning, whereby it means to produce copies of an image or a text on paper using a machine. That is what it is all about, to produce copies of a text or an image on paper using a machine. That is it. In simple terms, that's what it means to print. Then the other word we have is media. The word media is a plural form of the word medium. Yes, the word media is the plural form of the word medium. And what does it mean? What does the word media mean? Can anyone tell us? This is a word we have had. We have had words like mass media, media houses. What does this word mean? Could someone be having an idea? Oh, great, beautiful. The word media, in simple terms, it means the different ways how information reaches unto us. How do we get information? There are various ways how we get information. How do you get to know what is happening in the country? How do you get to know what has happened in America when you have never reached Entebbe Airport? How do you get this information happening at the East African region? How do you know what has happened in Kasese? What are the different ways that some of the different ways which information reaches to us? I'm welcoming some submissions. Good. Someone has mentioned television. Brilliant. And this one is common in our homes, most especially in the urban setting. Almost every household has a television. Thank you. Another one? Good. Someone has talked of radio. That is beautiful. We also get information through radio. Then we also have the newspapers. Every day you buy a newspaper and you will read about what has happened almost all over the world. You know what has taken place in your country, what has taken place in your region, and what has taken place at the international scene. Those are the different ways how we receive information, or how information reaches unto us. But for today, we are going to look at the different means. We are going to look at the different means information reaches to us, only those which are under print media, whereby information is in printed form on paper. Yes, and someone is already mentioning the word newspaper. So when we look at these words, they will form up the content of today's lesson. So I invite you to get your book, to get your pen, and get your dictionary, and we start. Our first vocabulary is newspaper. Look at that word for a second. The word is newspaper. You can read after me. Newspaper. Newspaper. Then, our second word, we have pull out. The word is pull out. The word is pull out. We go to the third word. Our third vocabulary is newsletter. The word is newsletter. This word is newsletter. Our next word is magazine. This word is magazine. This word is magazine. Go to the next. We have the word flyer. 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 Another one. We have the word brochure. 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 So these are the words that we are going to look at. These are examples of media which is printed, which is in print form. Now, I have a few questions for you children. If I want to know, out of these words we have looked at, if I want to know about what is happening in the world of sports, if I want to know what happened in Parliament, where can I get such information from? From these 6, which item here can give me information about what is happening in my country every day, the current affairs? Yes, thank you very much. That one, if you need to know of such information, then you buy a newspaper. then you buy a newspaper. I know that most of us, our parents, ourselves, we love reading these newspapers because they have so many interesting things for us. And examples of newspapers in Uganda, we have this. And this is the New Vision. Another example, we have this. And this is Bukede newspaper, and so many others. I know you have read them, you have bought them. Some of you, even this very morning, you bought some. And then, when we look at all these words, some of these words we are familiar, they are familiar to us. There are some words here which we have ever seen. Yes? Which word have you ever come across? Good. Someone has talked of a magazine. Someone has talked of a magazine. Class, can someone give me any example of a magazine that you love reading? Yes, I knew that answer was going to come out. Someone has talked of the Toto magazine. That one is loved by children so much, and it normally appears in the Wednesday New Vision newspaper. And last week I bought one, and this is what I found inside. I found there a Toto magazine. But we have many other examples of magazines. Now this is the Toto magazine, and most of the people who write articles in these Toto magazines are children like you. And I'm glad that some of you have ever participated in the writing of these Toto's magazines. Now we also have other magazines like for schools. Okay? So you have to note the difference that for the magazines, if you now look at a magazine and you also look at a newspaper, you will see that these ones are just sheets of paper, whereas this one is already a book. Okay? So, which other word have you ever come across? Yes, someone, thank you. Someone has mentioned the word newsletter. Yes, I know this one you know, because members of Umbuya Parent School, every year we write a newsletter, we send a newsletter to your parents, our dear clients, your parents. What is a newsletter? A newsletter is a printed report. It can be in book form, whereby it is updating the clients, the customers of that organization. For our case, we keep on updating our parents of the activities that are taking place in school, and also the plan for the coming academic year. That is what we call a newsletter. And this is the one we had for last year, 2019. And I managed to get a collection of more newsletters of other companies. Then we can also talk of the word pull out. What is a pull out, dear learners? Can someone try to give us the meaning of the word pull out? Okay, thank you. Good trial. A pull out, as you hear the word, this one, when you buy a newspaper, it is a part of a newspaper, but for it can easily be pulled out. You can pick it out and you read it separately. For example, one time I bought a newspaper and this is what I found inside. See? So if your parent happens to buy a newspaper and then it has a pull out, this is what you can do. It is interesting that your parent can be reading this newspaper at the comfort of his sitting room. You can also have this pull out. You go and also read at the comfort of your bedroom. That is interesting. In other words, a pull out can be taken out and read separately. It can also be kept separately. That is a pull out. Then we can also look at this word flyer, and then we have the word brochure. Now, what I would like to say is that flyer and brochure, they are almost related, but they are not actually the same. And here is the difference. For a brochure, for it is a booklet. It contains pictures and information, and it is in booklet form. You can even call it a small magazine. What information does it have? This is the one from Mbuya Parent School. It has a summary of what we stand for as a school, the motto, the vision, the mission, the core values, our academic performance, the school fees structure, our location, the activities that take place at school. It is used for marketing your services or your goods. And I have several examples. I have this from Mbuya Parent School. I also have another one here. This is a brochure. And we have a flyer. For a flyer, for it is single. It is just a leaflet, but it serves the same purpose as a brochure. Only that for it is not as detailed as a brochure is. Okay, learners? Yes. Now, these words, whenever we learn such vocabulary, it is for purposes of you to be able to use these words in your speech. It means today you have added 6 vocabulary. That is interesting. So I expect you to be able to interact with these words freely and form some sentences. And when you talk to a person, you use it in your sentence and you use it correctly. For example, I can say, my father enjoys reading newspapers. I can form another sentence and say that Mbuya Parent School published a beautiful newsletter. I can also say that the pullout was very educative. Those are some of the different ways that we can use these words in sentence construction. Now we are going to have an oral activity whereby I expect you to match this vocabulary with their meaning. For example, if I brought this, a set of large printed sheets of paper containing news, articles, advertisements, cartoons, announcements, name it, published daily or weekly, and I ask you to give one word to mean this, what do you think is the answer? Thank you so much. I'm so proud of you. That is a newspaper. Brilliant. It means people are very attentive. Next, what can be one word to mean a type of large, thin book with a hard paper cover that is published periodically? By periodically, I mean that if you are publishing it once a week, it will keep featuring once every week. That is the periodic interval it will follow. Or it can be, it comes out monthly or annually. Like that. So what is that? That one is a book. So out of all these items we have looked at, which one is a book with a hard paper cover and it comes out periodically? Yes, someone has said it is a newsletter. But remember we said that for a newsletter, for it is a report whereby you're updating the clients of your company. Who else can try? Thank you. Thank you so much. So that one is a magazine. Okay? Can we go to the third? What do we call now? A printed report containing news or activities of a club or organization that is regularly sent to all its members. Good. That one, someone has said it is a newsletter. Thank you very much. Next, we have a part of a newspaper that can be taken out easily and be read and also kept separately. You come, you have a newspaper, but there is a part you can take out and you read separately. What do we call that, class? Great. We call that a pull-out. Next, a small magazine or a booklet containing pictures and information about a company or an institution. This is a small booklet or this is a small magazine or a booklet containing pictures and information about a company or an institution. What is that, class? Can I have an individual to tell us? Flyer. Is it a flyer? A booklet? We said one, there is one which is just a leaflet which stands alone, and then one which is a booklet. Yeah? So that one is a brochure. Thank you very much. Yes, another task is here. I want you to give one word to mean a leaflet often used for advertising goods or services of a given company or organization. Who can give us that one? Thank you. That one is a flyer. So, dear children, now in the next activity, we are going to have a spelling exercise. And in this spelling exercise, this is what I expect you to, this is how I expect it to be done. With the help of a friend or your parent, or it can be your guardian, you're going to practice the spellings of the learnt vocabulary. Get a friend or a parent and make sure that they help you to spell. They read for you the word, as for you, you give the spelling. And let this person give you marks out of the 6 words that we have looked at. Then, next is a written activity. That is activity 2. Number 1, you list 5 names of newspapers that you have ever read or seen. Number 2, why do you think people read newspapers? Is it important? Why do you think so? Number 3, construct correct sentences using each one of the learnt vocabulary. Dear learners, here ends our lesson 1. I encourage you to keep washing your hands from time to time and sanitizing them. Stay home, stay safe. See you in lesson 2.